Hello, omo icom beskeo tti hananel pist hair hairpus y. Let's get real. We're going to talk about something people are too uncomfortable to say out loud and it's probably the reason why so many people are frustrated, disconnected, and quietly wondering if great sex is even real. Spoiler alert, it is. But most people are too focused on the wrong things to ever experience it. So let me just lay it out for you. If you want to be amazing in bed, if you want to blow her mind, if you want her to actually crave being close to you, it has nothing to do with what you think it does. It's not about some magic move. It's not about what you saw in a porn video or read in some anonymous thread. It's not about technique. It's not about speed or pressure or perfection. It's about how you show up. It's about presence, confidence, and awareness. You need to care. That's what separates the people who are unforgettable from the ones who are just fine. And fine is not the goal. The best way to please her, the real way, is by paying attention, not to yourself, not to what you think you're supposed to do, not to whether you're doing it right. You need to pay attention to her breathing, her body, her energy, her silence, her reactions, her shifts. You need to stop trying to perform and start actually connecting. You need to slow down and stop assuming, because no two women are the same. What she liked last time may not work today. What someone else liked doesn't automatically apply. And the only way you'll know what she wants, what she loves, what really works for her is if you ask. And then here's the big part, you listen. You don't argue. You don't defend. You don't get in your head. You listen and you respond. You treat her body like a conversation, not a task list. You show her in every moment that she is safe, she is seen, she is respected, and she is not just a place for you to feel validated. When you show up with curiosity instead of ego, everything changes. Because real pleasure doesn't live in the physical alone. It starts in the mind, it lives in safety, it thrives in honesty. And if she doesn't feel safe, emotionally, mentally, physically, she's never going to let go. You want her to open up. Be the person who earns it. Be the person who isn't rushing, who isn't pushing, who isn't treating her pleasure like a finish line or a problem to solve. And don't get me started on communication. If you can't talk about sex outside the bedroom, you're not going to fix anything inside it. You want to be amazing. Learn to ask questions without shame. Learn to take feedback without flinching. Learn to say what you like and listen when she tells you what she wants. Learn to check in. Learn to slow down. Learn to be there for her, not just because you want something, but because you actually care about her experience. You want to blow her mind. You want to be the one she thinks about afterward. You want to be the one she trusts with her body. Then be present, be patient, be playful, be generous. Be someone who doesn't need to be told every detail because you're already tuned in to how she moves, how she breathes, how she reacts. And here's the wildest part of all, when you stop making it about you, everything you want from the experience shows up naturally. The pleasure, the connection, the spark, the intensity. It all comes when you stop trying to get something and start focusing on how to give something. That's the secret. That's the technique. That's what nobody tells you because it's not flashy. It's not clickbait. It's not a hack. It's just the truth. Most people are so caught up in doing it right that they miss the whole point. And the point is simple: care more. Care enough to ask. Care enough to listen. Care enough to stop rushing. Care enough to do less and notice more. Because the best lovers are the ones who pay attention. The ones who don't pretend to know everything. The ones who make you feel safe being fully yourself. The ones who turn sex into trust, into freedom, into something you both actually want again and again. It's not about being the best, it's about being real. And when you show up like that, fully present, fully aware, fully curious, you don't just satisfy her. You unlock something way more powerful than that. You make her feel free. And that's what makes everything unforgettable. Most people think being great in bed is about having the right moves, lasting longer, doing something wild they read about online, or trying to mimic what they've seen in movies or porn. They're chasing some idea of what good looks like from the outside. But the truth is, none of that matters if you're not present. And I don't mean physically being there. I mean actually being there, fully, focused, tuned in. Presence is when you stop thinking about yourself and start feeling the moment. It's when you're not running a script in your head or evaluating your own performance. You're not wondering, am I doing this right? Or is she enjoying this? You're not distracted by your own insecurity or caught up in trying to impress her. You're not trying to look good. You're trying to be good for her, with her, not for your ego. Being present means you are completely focused on your partner, on how she moves, how she reacts, how she breathes, how her body responds to what you're doing. You're tuned into her, not stuck inside your own head. You're not rushing. You're not assuming. You're not using some one-size-fits-all formula. You're reading this woman right now in this moment because she is not like anyone else and this moment is not like any other. And that level of attention, that ability to be here now is powerful. Because when someone feels like they're being seen, like they're being heard, like their body is being listened to without judgment or pressure or ego, they relax. And when a woman relaxes, when she feels safe, when she feels like she doesn't have to perform either, that's when real connection happens. That's when desire opens up. That's when her guard drops. That's when she starts letting go of all the things in her head, her body image, her anxiety, her fears about being too much or not enough, because she can feel that you're not just doing something to her. You're with her. You're experiencing this with her. You're not waiting for something. You're not working towards some end goal. You're just in it with her. For real. Presence is how you build trust. It's how you show her she doesn't need to perform either. You're not evaluating her. You're not expecting anything. You're just there, fully invested in her experience, fully grounded in this moment. You can't fake that. You can't cheat it. And she will know. Women are incredibly intuitive when it comes to presence. She can tell if you're disconnected, if you're in your head, if you're just trying to make it to the finish line. And when she senses that, she shuts down. Maybe not physically, but emotionally, energetically, she disconnects because it stops feeling safe. It stops feeling real. It starts feeling like pressure, like performance, like work. You can't please her if you're not paying attention to her. Not women in general, not what your ex liked, not what you saw in a video or read in a comment thread. Her, this person, right here, right now. That's where your focus needs to be, because the biggest mistake people make in the bedroom is assuming they already know what to do. They show up thinking, I've got this, based on what worked before. But what worked before doesn't matter if you're not tuned into what she wants now. Every woman is different, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, energetically. One woman might love something that makes another completely shut down. One woman might want pressure, another might need a featherlight touch. One might respond to confidence, another to gentleness. One might want to talk, another might need silence. There is no universal roadmap. There is no checklist that guarantees success. The only real skill is the ability to pay attention and respond accordingly. That means you need to notice the little things. How she reacts when you touch her a certain way. How her breathing shifts. How her body leans in or pulls away. You need to get out of your head and into the moment with her, observing, reading, adjusting. And that requires you to slow down and stay open. You're not trying to get a result. You're trying to understand the person in front of you. It's not about control, it's about curiosity. And don't just rely on what you see. Ask her. Not just in the middle of things, but before, after, randomly, casually, open the conversation. Say, what do you like? Or was there something that really worked for you? Or is there something you wish I did differently? That one question might give you more insight than a lifetime of guessing. The people who are good at this aren't psychic. They're just not afraid to communicate. And they're smart enough to know that listening is everything. When you actually hear what she says and adjust based on that, she notices, she feels seen, she feels safe, she feels respected, and that opens the door to everything else. Because if she senses that you're not paying attention, that you're just going through motions, that you're performing, that you're prioritizing your own experience, she's going to feel like she doesn't matter, like her body is just a prop. And when that happens, her mind disconnects from the moment, and no amount of skill can fix that. You're not going to figure her out all at once. That's not how this works. People change. Feelings shift. Comfort levels evolve. You need to be in a constant state of curiosity, not because you don't know what you're doing, but because you care enough to keep learning. The people who are unforgettable are the ones who don't act like they already have the answers. They're the ones who keep paying attention, like it's the first time, every time. One of the biggest things getting in the way of real connection in the bedroom is ego. If ego shows up like a need to prove something, it tells you that you have to perform, that you have to do it right, that you have to be impressive, and that if you're not, you're somehow failing. And when ego is running the show, you're not actually connecting with the other person. You're putting on a show for yourself. You're stuck in your own head, worried about how you look, how you're being perceived, whether you're living up to some standard instead of tuning in to what actually matters in that moment. Letting go of ego means letting go of that pressure to perform. It means releasing the idea that you're supposed to know everything